Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. I'm a little bit late to setting everything up and all that sort of stuff. I hope you are all fine and dandy, as they say. We have GWR Photography, Carl, Peter, Joseph, and Advert. Hello, guys. How are you all doing? I've just got to adjust something on the preview stream that I am watching, because I don't like the way it is. We'll have to do it that way. That's better. So I've got all the stuff that I need to do. Hold on a minute. Let me just refresh that. It's just YouTube setting things up as they always do. It's not how I want it. But then I've got to do everything sort of. And Leo, or Lee Grant, how you doing? Welcome, guys, welcome. Oh, yes, so I stood here a good few years ago during doing a live stream. 8 hours, I think it was, on a Christmas Eve. While I was at work. And, yeah, that's pretty cool. I think it was the first one that I did, and then this was Christmas Eve, and then New Year's Eve. I think I did the one at Northern Trans Pennine when I went to work. So, yeah. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, if you wondered how I got up here, is basically I actually walked along the whole viaduct, but you can do it. Ooh, right. Oh, you can't. Okay, so you can't do that. So that's interesting. Let me just jump off here. Crack, went the old legs. You found another bug again on the Birmingham Crewe. You spawn at Stafford at 11:20, and your game keeps crashing for no reason. I'm not sure. It is a problem with the Xbox. It's something to do with the Xbox, and Dovetail are looking into it. Just all you got to do is go to the Dovetail forums and log it. It's no good telling me, because there's nothing I can do about it. Not being horrible, just being plain honest. Nothing really I can do. Dovetail are aware that the Xbox keeps crashing. I think it is the Series S more, because it goes out of memory error. Series S only has 10 gig of memory. So yeah, this is how I got on there. Like that. But I actually walked all the way from the beginning of the viaduct, or the flyover. Boom, like that. And you get a nice little view of the thing. They fixed the out of memory, have they? Well, just log it. Just log it. That's all you need to do. Just put it in the troubleshooting thing and report it, and then go from there. That's basically all you can do, really. The other thing what I would suggest is also looking at what layers you can remove, which won't impact you too much, but the game. You asked Candice on the Discord, and there isn't any updates on out of memory crashes for Xbox. And there isn't really. No, that's fine. That's fair enough. Basically, they haven't updated it then. So, yeah. So I think basically they would have actually put out on the forum and on the Discord as well, our Discord, that it would have been fixed. And, yeah. So I think they are looking at it. They are doing a fix for it. So, yeah. So that is to come at some point over the next week or so. Yeah. So, first up, what are we doing tonight? I have to start a poll, guys, because Saturday is going to be viewers vote the route. So, I've got to start a poll. So, let me just get that up. And it's start a poll. What will the first... What will... No, don't do it as that, you dumbass. Caps like I'm shouting on my own poll. What will the first route to drive on Saturday. Whoops. Yeah, that's fine. You know, there's no pressure. No pressure whatsoever. Right, let me pull out 4 routes. It's 4, isn't it? Yeah. Right, what have we got? I'm just gonna put out 4. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, let's see what we got, and I'll write them in. Right, add option. Okay, number 1. Well, I'll tell you what, I couldn't make this up as you go along. That's an interesting choice. It's a tough one, actually. No, that's not how you spell that. Dush, dosh, dun, 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 dun. Number 2, number 3. I've just not set this up right, have I? Oh, let's check that on there. Number 4. Interesting. Right, okay, so your choices are for the route that I first drive on Saturday for viewers vote the route. Your first choice is Goblin Line, Gospel Oak Barking, London Underground Bakerloo, Isle of Wight 2022, and Southeastern Highspeed. You can vote until either the game crashes or I finish the stream, whatever that's going to be. So you can start voting now. Is the interesting choice Dresden Chemnitz? No. Because I'll be going off for sake if it was Dresden Chemnitz. That route just bore the tits off me. I know you'd vote for it because you would. Right. So yeah, Brad. Oh, I don't know. Bradley's going to be here. Let me just take my hoodie off a minute. The Southeastern High Speed doesn't get it. Bradley's going to kick himself whether he votes for it or not. Right, there we go. I'm actually going to go and put my heating on for an hour because it is a bit cold out. So let me just go and put my heating on. 2 seconds. Walking around the back of walking around the back of the old sofa. No, you leave that on there. That's good. Right, so that's on now. Put that on for about an hour just so it warms the place up a bit. Right, so Morristown is the first route that I'll be driving because that's the one that I didn't manage to do on Saturday. So we're going to chuck that in now. That's life, as you can always change. You can't always have everything. Exactly. That's my keyboard. There's my keyboard. Right, let's crack on with a bit of Morristowning. Where am I? Something something Dover. Tin table. What's that electric unit? It's that one, isn't it? Alright. So that's the NY Penn Station to Sunnyside Yard for that one. Interesting. Hoboken, Goldstone. We're going to do that one. Gladstone. 413. 9:34 in the morning. We're going to do that one. I can't remember if I've ever driven out of Hoboken. Right, that's loading in. I've just got to try and get myself comfy. I've just redone my sofa, just basically just tidied it up, fluffed up plumped up the cushions and everything. I tried getting my old dust cover sort of thing that I have for my big massive red sheet, like throw. There you go, sofa throw, and it just got so uncomfortable, so I had to take it off. But here we go. It started. Right. I know we've got to put these in. Unlock doors. Which train's got passengers? Put that forward. What are we running on frames? Oh, there. 16 frames a second. Thought it was a bit slow. Good afternoon, there, Bronco. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Let's set up our viewing position. Once again, let's set up our viewing position. I'll be ready to leave in a minute. You be back. Just get to do something. That's cool. No worries. Don't forget to vote. Taking a sip of drink. Tonight's drink of choice is Dr. Pepper Zero. What's the worst that can happen? Right, let's crack on. Give it a 2. Brakes off. Things not cut in. And where's the cut in switch? I don't know. Other beverages are available. Yep, pit, no. Where is the ditch lights? No. Oh, is that it there? No, that's not it. It's got to be that there. There we go. Right. Brakes should be releasing. You're too thick enough not know how US trains work. Well, that's me. I just love the noise. I keep forgetting that it's either the MU working or the cut the brakes in or cut the brakes out, or yeah. I think there's a reason why I probably haven't decided to drive a train from Hoboken. It's just practice, really, isn't it? You know, don't really drive them a lot, to be honest. Oh, this could be a long drive. There we go, into the tunnel. So it's raining down here again tonight. So if you saw my Discord post, you'll know what the next... You'll know what the next route is going to be. In theory. No rain here. No, it just had literally really... January we've had a really good month for rain, to be honest. Nice, little hole in the ground, look. West Coast Mainline South, Birmingham to Crewe, yep. That's 2 of them. Got another 2 or 3 after that. I've got 6 down. GWE and something else. Yeah. It was a misty, foggy last night into this morning. You don't know what it's like now. You just woke up. Good evening there, young Daniel. How are you? I wish they did away with this stupid bloody countdown in feet. Impressive bridge. Won't get no boats hitting that. I feel very flat, boy. Got a flat tyre. Hi Robert, how are you? First stream you've watched since your night shift you mentioned last week. Looking forward to having you in the background whilst chilling. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you very much, sir. Welcome along. Oh. Station's coming up as well, so we've got to stop. I think this is one where you've got to spend more time playing it, and you've got to get used to the route, which I'm definitely not. Bless you. Okay. I'm just going to drop that one there. What's wrong with those? Oh, that's why. Oh. 3.8 miles on Newark Broad Street. Track 3, 9:54. Take your time. Will I be doing the 805? I won't be doing it on a West Coast Mainline South. I'm not using that timetable. I just don't think it's that good, to be honest. Yeah, we'll see on the other one. Drove right under your balcony on Tuesday. Oh, awesome. Could at least peek the horn. Actually, to be honest, I was probably, if it was in the afternoon, I was streaming. No. Oh, mate, what are we doing? If it was from about, it would have been the piece, the release, wasn't it? So it would have been, if it was anything up to about about 11 o'clock, then I wouldn't have been in. 11 o'clock onwards through to about 3 o'clock, I was live streaming on the PlayStation. Been playing GWE since 2020 and still not used to it. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot to get used to, trust me on that one. So, yeah. Anytime after 11:30, I would have been streaming on the PlayStation, so I might have seen you drive by, be honest. So I was live at 9:45. On the Monday I was. The Tuesday, it was the PS5 version. Oh no, because it was about 1400 on Tuesday. Being up the military at Rockley, yeah, I know. The SAS, the Marine base, SBS place. Yeah, I was. It was Monday I did the PC stream, which I had my UC meeting on Monday. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I apologise. I went through till 1 o'clock. It was about a 6-hour stream. I went through to about 3:30 in the end. Yeah, I do apologise. Overspeed. Don't. Do my head in. Right, anyway, let's go. Joseph's back. Hello, back. How you doing? How is everyone this evening? Hello, William. How are you? Up to the stream, sir. Yeah, I'm not too bad. So I didn't see you pop in. I think some safety systems are best left alone. like this one and the Americans just don't get on with it. Oh, I'm going a bit fast. Oh well. Watch the gap or mind the gap? If you watch the gap, it means you're going to be stood there watching it and you're going to end up tits up over it. Not bad, thanks. On Goblin Line doing 0603 London Overground service from Barking, Riverside to Gospel. Not done Goblin Line for a long time. No, I don't think I've done it for a while, actually. Mind. So we are approaching Newark Broad Street. So yeah, please hit the like button on the thing as well, because it really does help. It will help push the stream. You haven't done it before since TSW6 came out. Oh wow, you just arrived at Wanstead Park. Marvellous. Well, let me have a sip of drink, and then we'll close the doors and go. Oh, it's 9:53. I thought it was 9:54. So yeah, the plan of action tonight is Morristown first, then we're doing West Coast Main Line South. I'm not doing the 8:05 timetable. I'm not interested in that. Then we're doing Midland Mainline, West Coast Main Line, Birmingham to Crewe, Great Western Express 2016, and then Bremen Oldenburg. Hopefully, Bremen Oldenburg. That's what we're running tonight. Been a good while since you've driven Goblin. Yeah, it's been that for me as well. East Orange, 2.2 miles. Let's go. So it breaks off. You've never driven the Goblin route. It's a nice little route, to be honest. You'd be more attached to the Riviera line and West Coast Main Line, Birmingham Crewe. Birmingham Crewe, I do quite like that route. Exeter Riviera is great up to the point where you go past Newton Abbot. After that to Plymouth, it's just boring. My personal opinion. It's a nice route. I like the rolling stock, but it's just boring past Newton Abbot down to Plymouth. And that's what it's like when you go between literally Exeter and Plymouth, and then the other 100 odd miles down to Penzance. Penzance to Plymouth, it's just dual carriageway. Have you heard the issues we've got in Devon between it? Yeah, there's a sinkhole formed because of the storm that's been going on. I think it's closed tonight, is it, or something like that? So where do they go? Off there. Okay. Well, they wouldn't be, I was going to say, that's probably because of the weather. They wouldn't be running over the sinkhole because of... I know there was a sinkhole because I've seen the pictures of it. And I know they were supposedly... They wouldn't be running train services over the track where there's a sinkhole. I can tell you that now. Yeah, it just is what it is for winter storms in that part of the world, really. I mean, the biggest problem is that you've got a sea that's unforgiving even, and you know you've got a railway running next to it, so they don't mix very well. No, they really do not need to extend it. Plymouth is as far as really I think it should go. It's absolutely... The West Cornwall local route is boring as hell. That is just absolutely boring, that route, driving along there. The only decent GWR route they've got, which isn't as boring, is Reading Paddington. To be honest, that's my honest opinion. I just don't like the route between Newton Abbot and down to Plymouth. It's just boring. Yeah, that won't happen. They will not do that. Wish they could at least extend a couple of branch lines, maybe the Barnstable line, Exmouth line. They won't. Okay, I don't think they'll do it. You know, for Tracy Moore, I don't think they'll do it. Won't happen. I'm kind of hoping that this 2017 version of Great Western Express Remaster will pull in a lot of interest that will make Dovetail think perhaps we could do a modern day version of the Great Western line between Paddington and Oxford. So basically to include Didcot, because I think that'll be the most ideal way to do it. Have it turn off for Oxford. I think you've got Banbury then Oxford. So that would improve the freight. It'd improve still you'd be able to use your 802s and everything else along there with the electrics. So yeah. I kind of hope that this remaster will generate a lot of interest in, you know, it doesn't need to go to Bristol. You don't need to over exaggerate it. Do you know what I mean? Oh, let's do Exeter to London Paddington. No, you don't need to do that. Just bring it down. So you've got Didcot, you got the yard at Didcot, you got the little runoff where the AI services will end up going. But then you've got the main run to Oxford. So I think that'll be an ideal, what you call it, because with an IET it will take you about an hour probably most to get Didcot or Oxford, probably about an hour I think it is. You wouldn't mind it going to Bristol Putways, that's a better location in your opinion. Yeah, but how many extra miles is that? Oxford's just up the road. I think it would be a better call just to do like the original, not the original, but do the route distance from Paddington to Oxford. That's what I reckon. That'll be, because basically what you don't want is something like Paddington to Bristol, which is about an hour and a half, possibly. Does you know how sometimes I'll lock the doors then, should I? You know what sometimes some people's attention spans are like? So personally, I think it's just about right to do it from Oxford. Hour and 35. I've got that classic. Used to be the HST poster, where it gives you the done by Great Western. It gives you like the train services from Paddington to Bristol, Paddington to Swansea, Paddington to Cardiff, the distances and times. I've got that as a canvas frame in the other room above the model railway. I don't think we're going to stop here. We may stop at the end of the platform. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Passengers don't get on or off. Yeah, it's like I said in the other stream, it's all done, to a budget, isn't it? They say, this is our budget, this is what we've got to spend on the locos. We can't have, the trains, we can't have all the mod cons that like the AT300 exhibits, like lovely seating. It's just done all for simplicity, for cheapness, to be honest. Yeah, we're fine. We didn't overshoot. We stopped a bit longer. Just read on the GWR that they shut the line between St Erth and St Ives due to flooding. Yeah, it's a tad wet out there. A lot of people are making something out of nothing with this because it always happens. It's just the fact that, again, because I saw dramatic pictures, the dramatic headlines, social media posts. Dawlish seawall breached in storm. Breached? It was knocked over. Fell onto the track. It was not the retaining wall, it was just the wall to stop the idiots jumping off the walkway. We've had heavy rain all evening to last till... Yeah. We've had that. I live right next door to Holes Bay. So, yeah. I live right next door to Holes Bay. I've literally got my flat, then I've got Asda shop, the car park. Oh, we're not going to do that one. And then I've basically, there's another block of flats, and then it's Holes Bay. Oh no, that's fair enough. HST lasted half a century with a few refurbs. 800s are probably part of a corporate recycling deal in a decade. But when the HSTs were built, it was a different era, different time. Steps out of his front door and gets his feet wet. Which would be, it's got to be pretty bad then if that's the case, because I'll be stepping out the front door and it'll be in the back of the flat. Asda would be flooded. You've got to order your staff pass card for Bodmin and Renford Railway, because if you order that, you get discount on other heritage railways. Awesome. Hold on, let me just move that keyboard. Trying to get comfy here. Ow, ow, ow. Oh, that hurts. Oh. Lock doors? Lock doors? There we go. Went the brakes. When the power went then, I thought, hold on a minute. You're about 15 minutes away from Crewe. In real life or in some train that you're driving? Just doing a test run. If only you could get it for the main line, because if they did for us volunteers, your tickets to go to your dad's would be 75% cheaper. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. Didn't realise how close you were to Poole Station. Yeah. It's 2 to 3 minutes away. It's because I used to live about 15-20 minutes walk up the road further up, on the other side of the railway. So yeah, it's just even like late at night now when stuff comes through, like the 37 on the hi Keynes, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. On the test train about 1 o'clock at night, I could just pop over there, and because it's on the up line, I could just walk on the down platform, get some pictures of it, and go home. You don't have to apologise. You do not have to apologise. You didn't make the stream. Don't worry. You can, just like I said, the streams are there that you can always watch them back. Yeah, your hamster had enough and escaped the cage. Awesome. Oh dear. Yep, that's funny. I know it's not funny because my hamster escaped the. It was downstairs and I had her around on the training ball. And it was a little Russian hamster. It wasn't rushing around. And my mum was watching it, and then all of a sudden it ran into, like, we got like a big massive slate stone fireplace sort of thing. It ran into that, and the, like, 2 parts of the ball fell apart. Then my mum screamed her head off saying the hamster's running around. I said, well, get it then. She goes, I ain't touching the fucking thing. Oh dear. So I had to come downstairs. I said, where did it go? She goes, out towards the kitchen. I went, oh, I'm never going to find it there. He's going to get behind the kitchen. Get behind the gas cooker. But yeah, I managed to get him. Cheeky little bugger. Oh, I'm not going to make this one. No, we're not going to do this one. Sorry. Get the next one, folks. There'll be one along in a minute. There always is. But she came back about an hour ago. Oh, blimey. Yeah, I had hold of her. Had hold of him when I picked him up. I sort of, you know, I tempted him out with some sunflower seeds. Dumbass, and he fell for it. But then I had him in my hand, and my mum was feeding him sunflower seeds, and she loved him because she just loved it where he just puts all the sunflower seeds in his pouch, in his mouth, and she loved it. And he had like really big chunky cheeks then. The 37 test has been in Bristol recently. You heard whilst loading up, even though you couldn't see it. It's about 200 metres from the line out of Temple Meads to Bath. Oh, nice. Yeah, this one is 3Q02. We only get it, 3Q02 or 3Q01? It's 3Q01. It comes around every 3 or 4 months, I think it is. It's usually a 37 of DBSO. That's usually goes down about 11:30, comes back about 1:30. With the speed thing, wish there was something on the side of the tracks. What do you mean? On what, Joseph? I don't get what you mean. Oh dear. We got ours every 3 weeks. You think? We have the plain line pattern recognition train, which is usually top and tail GBRF 739s. I'm a little bit early. I'm not surprised, to be honest. Oops, who's WhatsApp me? Watching through for the best is such fun. You like using the studio in pool, wish it wasn't so expensive. Oh, yeah. That's got to be not the popular episode, but yeah. Hi Trinaro, how you doing? Why is the voting box on top of your chat box? Well, if you click on the voting box, it will ask you what route you would like me to drive, or for the first route in our Saturday stream, the viewers vote the route. You're getting Cardiff City Network route for Easter. Awesome. You don't really like any of them. Oh dear. Not much you can do then. Yeah, it's they were all picked out, hand-picked. I have basically a little bag of routes, a little bag of post-it notes with all the route names and the timetable options on them as well. And I picked those 4 out. So, take your brakes off, Tony. So yeah. You voted the Goblin line, yeah? Guess it'll have to be Goblin line for you since it's not too long. No, it's anything you want to do, anything you want to vote for, for me to drive. 60. Oh, we got time. But yeah, if that does it, 50% of you have voted for it, so yeah, that's cool. You would have voted for Loud Dirty Diesel, but I wasn't given the option. I ain't voting for Bogcarts. That's the options that I was. That's the hand that I was dealt. Do I recommend the 805? Entirely up to you whether you buy it or not. I would advise you to watch my live stream that I did on Tuesday. My personal opinion, it is great, but I'm not happy of the West Coast Mainline South timetable. I was so looking forward to that timetable. 10 freight services doesn't really show a true representation of the West Coast Mainline route, to be honest. Let me concentrate on slowing down. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's your money. And I think watch the streams, to be honest. As far as I'm aware, Rivet are still doing a 171 or whatever it is they're supposed to be doing for thingy. There might be something in the roadmap this month. So I'd watch that. I suspect the roadmap, I think, could be Tuesday. Pete, you would be voting for a low, loud, dirty diesel, but you won't give them the option. That's just what I picked out. That's all randomly picked out. So yeah, not much I can do about it. You mean you would vote for 5 Circle East Coast Way? 5 Circle, I don't like that at all. The only thing that saved that route is Rivet's Skyhook's timetable for the 158. You can't be enjoying 5 Circle likely, despite not many people liking it. You can't wait for 171 for ECW. Yeah. They need more 805 services for both routes. No, that's the same. That's the that is the same amount of services that are on both the East Coast, the West Coast Mainline, and the Birmingham one. So it's the right amount of routes. It's the freight services that are wrong. You didn't get the 805. You're kind of saving up for the Southern one. 7.1 Turbo Star. Yeah, it's a DMU to me. We'll see what it's like. For some reason, you just love Turbo Stars. Don't know why. Roadmap is Tuesday. That's awesome. The 805 is a step backwards from the Pendolino. How come? I mean, to be honest, the only thing about the pack that I like is the 805. I think it's been well modelled. Now, people will turn around and say about the texture issue, it's been poorly done. No, the texture issue is down to the allocation of memory. That's the problem. It's a core problem. That's what that is. I'm not going off on a tangent here. It's just, unfortunately, when the texture pool runs out of memory that's allocated to it, this is what happens. It dumbs down the textures. This is where everything goes all blurry. So more memory has to be optimized and shared about. It's fine on the PlayStation PC, because basically you've got virtual RAM, which is automatically set, blah blah blah, and it could be swapped out about all over the place. 110 mile an hour on the West Coast Mainline South Pendolino. It does actually do, in some places, it does 125, I believe. I don't think it's on the... You made it to Crewe with no problems. I think it's on West Coast Mainline South. It does do 125. How good is Cardiff City network? It's all right, but it's just short runs. That's all it is, just short runs. That's something. That's a line, the Oxted line. I'm just not interested in. I mean, it's got to be busy. If it's not busy, it's just boring. Let's take the brakes off, Tony. You gonna close the door or what? There we go. Yeah, it is good, but it's very short. Journey times are about, and I think it was a slightly different way of how they're doing it. It's everyone's saying, well, let's have an extension. No. It doesn't need an extension. It just is what it is. That is what the total scope of the project was. Is that area stuff that the main area was Cardiff City itself. Then you got all the various branch lines going off and round. That's the whole idea. It doesn't need extension or anything. It is what it is. people's got to try and understand that, and they aren't. What's wrong with the Oxted lines? Not every release needs to be busy. But then, thing is, it's just not going to appeal to a lot of people. That's the thing. It is not going to appeal to a lot of people. You know, yeah, some people do like slow routes. I want something that has a lot of runs in it, a lot of timetable. It has a lot of things to you know, for the price you pay for it. Okay, it's quite ironic, really, that I don't pay for anything. Well, I have paid for stuff because I have bought some routes recently on Train Sim World for the PC. So, yeah, I pay my share. But some people like it, other people don't. You love DMUs, other people don't. So, you know, Pete don't like 66s, other people do love 66s. You're off. Oh, see you later, Joseph. Take it easy, have fun. You know, they have to cater for everyone, but you know, you just listen to some of the Americans when they go on. They don't like freight. They love freight. They don't like passenger trains. You know, they want this, they want that, and you know, they get all upset because they don't get it, and they start throwing their toys out the pram and everything. Would it count as busy? Well, I don't know, really, to be honest. I would have thought it is busy, but it's. I think with the AI services, it is. Is it Just Trains did the 142? So, yeah, I think it would be busy to a degree. A lot of services in busy timetable are just repeats. But that's what a timetable is, isn't it? I'll speak to you later, William. I mean, if you look at come on. Have I got my brakes on? I mean, people turn around and say, "Oh, let's have Swanage Railway." It's a 9 mile route, maximum speed 25 mile an hour. Boring. Not many services. About 8 or 9 services a day. The heck, no, it's boring. No disrespect to Swanage Railway, but it's the most expensive train ride over on average per mile. So, yeah. You know, if you look at a timetable for the Class 390s in real life, you'll see it's the same sort of services going out, blah, blah, blah. And these timetables in TSW, 95% of them are based off real timetables over the year. Swanage Railway is overpriced, yes. But because they are paying for a lot of stuff, you know, they have to make money, basically. Right, I'm glad that one's over because that's doing my head in. What are we doing next? Right, we're doing West Coast Mainline South, but it's not the 805. Not interested in that at all. Actually, what I will do. West Somerset Railway. I don't mind West Somerset Railway, to be honest. But it's not something that I actively... If it turns up in a stream, do I really want to be running an hour and a half service at 25 miles an hour? Probably not. problem being is that, and I've done this before and it's been on stream. Well, I've had the West Somerset Railway I've done it on stream, and by the end of it, I've got about 4 people left. Start off with about 20, 25 people, and then all of a sudden, when it's done, 4 people, hour and a half later. Doesn't keep the audience. It's great doing little short things on it, but if you're there trying to do a whole run, it just doesn't work. So stuff like a Bernina Liney, yeah, it's a nice looking route, but it's just at like an hour and a half. Again, this is what I'm saying. Like, if you think about like Oxford to Paddington, it's quick, boom, done. You can do it in about an hour. Even West Coast Main Line over Shap, some of those journeys are about hour and 12, hour and 15. And bearing in mind, I've got to be there driving that for an hour and 15. So, yeah. I think West Somerset Railway does. But it's like I said, it's you look at the... well, there it is. So look at some of the... I mean, you look at the scenarios. There's a lot. Hour and 20 at 25 miles an hour. Thomas's arrival. I mean, they're all short. We're not really worried about Thomas. But, so we go into the timetable. The West Somerset Steam Gala. LMS Fowler. They're short ones. There you go, hour and 20. That's the all-way. Bishop's Lydiard to Minehead. Who's going to sit there and watch me do that hour and 20? That's going to be me. I'm going to be falling asleep. So what I wanted to say as well is about Milton Keynes, London Euston and Milton Keynes. So West Coast Main Line Avaro, that's the current one, all right? That's the new one with the 805. I'm going to go in there at... Gone completely the wrong way. Ow! God, that hurts. Let's do Wembley Depot. Right. I'm not worried about what the time is. I'm just going to go straight in there. Bernina is good. Yeah, to some it is. It looks all right, but it's the gameplay. It's an hour and a half. It's, yeah. They'll go over it at 3.5. You love Bernina Line because you've been there and you find it relaxing after a shit day. No, that's fair enough. Scenery is incredible. You do most of it from outside the cab. Yeah, it does look nice, but it's just... it's just not for me, I think. Right, okay, so this... I'm gonna croupier over here. You have a 66. And I have made Dovetail aware of this. I'm sorry, you're just going to have to put up with the noise for a couple of minutes. I'm not going to drive it, and you'll find out why. Right. Let me just pop in there. Just let me shut that. And we'll just shut that there. Now, this is, you think, oh, this player service. Right, okay, boom. You can't drive the service. It's an AI service, right? So go into... No, I don't want that. I want that. Right. So that's a train service there, right? 6 Hotel 50 leaves Wembley at 13:14, right? This train spawns in at midnight. It's an AI only train. You can't drive it. It doesn't appear in the timetable. And further on down, where is it? That's a That's a drivable one up to that point. Then the AI take over. There's another service. It's this one, I think. There you go. 10:38, 6 Romeo 93, Wilson to New Milton. Yeah, that's in there from midnight. Why do they need to be in there from midnight? Why can't they just basically turn up from a portal 5 minutes before and then they depart? They're both Wilson, but they don't need to be in there 13 and 10 hours before they're supposed to leave. That's a problem for me. And one of the other ones is... yeah, there. Let me see. Can we... there's no shortcut there, so... oh. I'll have to do it this way. So they're just, they don't go anywhere, those three. DB is booked. Yep, DB is booked. This is why I'm not, I just do not want to play this route. It just, I just don't think it's that good, to be honest. So this area here, personally speaking, so that's the other one that's there for 10 hours. Just sat there. Red DB is booked. So this area here, you have 2 lines here of a rate of JNAs. You don't need that. Just basically put a couple. This is a what you call it yard, aggregate area here, and I think you've got containers here as well. They literally do not need all these here, because that just causes frame rate problems with everything going through it. I've mentioned all this to Alex, and I put it down. I gave a good write up basically about also the lack of passengers that. Euston station is empty. So, to be honest, I like the 805. I have no problem with the 805 itself. I like it. I just do not like that route. The West Coast Mainline South route. I was so looking forward to that. When they announced it, but it's so underwhelming. There's just something about that route. It doesn't look full enough. When you drive the 2024 route, it's got less services on it than what thingy has. So I use the Cargo Line Nuclear, which is the latest one. That's got 954 services. That's got 997. The West Coast Mainline Evaro. That feels more empty than the nuclear one, and the nuclear one is what we are going to be driving. Yeah, I just think it's just a horrible experience, to be honest. I am gonna do some 1972 tube stock. We're going to go from Elephant and Castle to Harrow. Harrow? Well, it's just basically Harrow, Queenie, wherever it is. Queen's Park. I just don't like it. It'll be this one and Morristown. That's it. That's all I've driven so far. Sidami line, that's another route that I'm really just not looking forward to. I will see that as possibly a little bit like not Bernini line, a Rosa line. I will see that as that. I don't know. I mean, because I've got to see it first, sort of play it. But I'm not holding my breath for me liking it. It's not. Put it this way, it's not a route that I'll actually just go and say, you know what, I fancy a bit of Tadami line today. It's the same with Bernina line, Arosa line. Those, they're not the same. Right, let's unlock the doors first. Let's switch her on. I mean, some people would probably call me fussy, but I'll be opening doors. Yep. Put these down, seeing as we're going to be on the main line. I thought I unlocked the doors. You're looking for? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fair enough. For me, I just don't think it's going to interest me, to be honest. However, I'm quite liking doing the underground segments on this. Even hold on a minute, did I have the Bakerloo line down? No, I didn't. What did I got? Oh, Midland Mainline's next after this. Then we got Birmingham Crewe, which will do an 8:05 run on. Oh, yeah. People call me, seeing as I'm an ambassador, I shouldn't be like complaining too much. But then again, I get moaned at because I'm an ambassador. I don't complain because I don't want to bite the hand that feeds me, which is a complete load of bollocks. Basically, you're deciding what to run now. Just basically choose something random. Just go into the thing where it says. Jump straight in. Either you want something 30 minutes long or more than 30 minutes. Just click that. With the crap you have to deal with from the public every day, last thing I want to go is in on the tube. No, I totally understand it. What have I done or not done? There we go. We are going to Harrow, F7, F8. There we go. Oh, I know what I haven't done. Which one is it? It's got to be... Oh, destination light. We need that one. Gauge light? What's gauge light? Don't know what that is. No. Cab light off. We don't need that on. Ah, no. That's what we want. Oh, I'll wait till I get a bloody station next. Kensal Green. think that's the one turns the lighting on. You had what would have been a lovely trip to Cornwall and back today. Only thing that spoiled it was the public driving the wankers doing severe work. Yeah. I've seen footage. There's one guy doing nearly 107 miles an hour on a dual carriageway in the peeing down rain. Good evening, crackers. How are you? Welcome to the stream. I hope you're well. So yeah, this is the West Coast Main Line South timetable. It's the cargo line nuclear one, and it won't have the 805s in because I just won't drive them on this route. I don't want to use that timetable because I just don't like it. I'd rather just probably end up doing a free roam from London Euston. At least I know there's passengers about. We'll just finish off your tub of celebrations. That'll help you keep you going till you're down for your burgers. Jesus. I finished off my tub of celebrations about 4th day into January. That was my second tub, mine. Although all the eclairs, I gave them to my mate because I don't like eclairs. The lights ain't on, no one's home. Nope, still not the lights. It's got to be that one then. Hallelujah. There we go. Lock doors. So, yeah, I do kind of like the old London Underground runs. I think it's struggling a bit on here as well. If you become a king of the world, you tax all BMW and Audi drivers off the roads. You and me alike. What I am looking at... Hey guys, you know you can sit down? Woolston is next. I mean, the thing is with me that I had texture issues on the 805 and a couple of Desiros on the West Coast Main Line south, Euston to Milton Keynes route. I've never had that in this timetable, texture issues. So that's, I'm just not happy with that 2025 timetable. Oh dear. Oh, played some Gran Turismo tonight, this afternoon. I am quite tired. I had a bit of a, I won't say it's a busy day. It was a bit of a weird day because I've got a set of sack trucks. I bought them for when I moved in because there's a lot of stuff that, yeah, boxes and that had to be moved and everything. If smell-o-vision becomes a thing on TSW, I'll be turning it off. The 80, the BO on a busy tube is noise. Oh God, yeah. You know, even when I was at Amazon, you know, the people there, they'd come in, they'd be there starting the same time as you, and they're already decomposing. It's absolutely, and a lot of the women were like that as well. It is absolutely disgusting, absolutely pungent. It was like, oh. In the end, they had to go and actually tell them personally about their hygiene, that they need to wear deodorant and have it with them, because it was just making people physically sick. You know, you shouldn't need to tell people about their personal hygiene. I don't mind them smelling of curry, but when it's smelling of BO, it is disgusting. I always made sure that before I went down to the warehouse, this was first thing in the morning, I always sprayed, because I always carried a can of spray. I always do when I work. I always carry a can of deodorant around with me, just in case I do have one of those days, which 95% of the time I don't. But I always do a bit of a spray just before I go down. Keeps you fresh. And some people, they just don't, and they're just naturally just decomposing. 7:10. I mean, the thing is, it's also embarrassing. You got to tell someone that they smell. Oh wow. Okay, so where are you? Oh, is that DB is booked? Yeah, look, DB is booked. Look. That's a non-FCA. No, that isn't an FCA. No, it's a non-FCA train. Oh, and the other thing with that timetable, there's only 10 freight services on it. That 2025 service, there's only 10 freight services on it. The 2025 timetable. Now my passengers are off as well. Oh no, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. 27. Standing on a West End tube station in the summer is awful. The trains push the stink down from the tunnel. You can smell them coming. Yeah, it's not the best. I mean, I didn't mind when I was up in London all those years ago travelling on the tube. I thought it was a bit of fun as an experience. Desi. But now, I'm just getting to the point where I do not like being in crowded spaces. So the underground is not a good place for me. I like the underground, but I just don't like too many people. They're just idiots. And it's not because of everything that's gone on in London over the last 10 years. It's basically to do with that I'm getting rather a fear of being in enclosed areas. Don't mind lifts, but when there's just too many people, yeah. No, I totally understand, Pete. General public are horrible. To the extent now that I always go out with my earbuds. I'll always listen to music. I can't stand that whinging kid that wants something in a shop, but his mother says no, and the kid just doesn't get it. You know? Or the gobby little cider drinkers, you know, that the best part of their life has left them. You know? I can't stand them. You know, you hear you just hear the everyday stuff going on outside. This is why, if I'm not on my PC, or sometimes if I am on my PC doing stuff like photos and work jobs and that, I'll have the music on because I can't stand listening to the outside world. It's really, really weird. It's weird. My niece is like that, the same as well. She can't stand listening. She has to have music on. So yeah, I can relate where you turn around and say you just hate the public. It's when you hear this whinging kid, you know, and I know the kid there are some kids that unfortunately are autistic and they don't understand because of their autism, and I totally get that. But it's when you get the ones that they aren't, and yeah, you know, I now get some people say, well, how do you know they're not? You know, you don't, but you hate the parents who walk away really loudly, who talk really loudly at their brats, trying to give the impression that they're good parents. More annoying than the brats. Do you know what my pet hate is? Parents that are too engrossed on their phones to realise their kid is not there with them, is lagging behind, deciding to walk out in the road. I've shouted at some woman who's on the phone talking to her best mate about what's going on the weekend, and her kids just run off into the road. Luckily, there was no cars coming. Then she had a go at me for shouting at her. I just turned around and said to her, I said, maybe you should pay more attention to your fucking kid than your social life, and just walked off. That kid could have been dead. You know what I mean? I just hate people like that. And the other, my pet peeve, my personal pet peeve. All these people that shout down their phones instead of holding the phone up to their ear and talk to them like you do on a normal phone, on a telephone, mobile phone, like most people do. They shout down the phones. You have to listen to their conversation of what Sharon did to her boyfriend Jess over the weekend. You know what I mean? When you're on a bus. I mean, the amount of times I've missed my stop because I'm so engrossed in this story, I want to hear what happened. Do you know what I mean? Don't start your phone use. No, I know. You, as a driver, you see a lot of it on the roads. People on in their cars, on the phone. Totally understand. So one couple of years ago, she walked into a post because she's on her phone reading it. She walked into a signpost. Didn't see that one coming. Oh dear, I laughed my head off. I went, "You all right?" And she looked at me, blood pouring from her nose. I went, "You got a tissue? You got a nosebleed?" think she was foreign because she didn't understand. She's just like, you could tell it hurt because there's tears rolling down her face. She just walked off, carried on, went, well, okay, fine. Oh dear. You can't help stupid people, I'm afraid. And 75% of the British public are stupid. There's only a few decent ones, and that's it. What route are we doing next? Oh, Midland Mainline. Oh, hell yeah. Ooh, I may do a HST service. Don't think I've run that for a while, actually. Not run it this year. Actually, might do a 158 service because we could do a HST service on... am I running Great West Express on this one? Yeah, it's in GWE. No, we'll do a HST service on the Midland Mainline, but we'll do probably a 166 service on GWE. Yeah, not a big fan of 5 Circle. The only thing that's good about that is Skyhook's timetable. That's it. It's still broken. Rivet hasn't fixed it. The Class 40 tours that no one's on. It shows a red signal, which actually should be a green signal. I've reported that 3 or 4 times. It's not been sorted. So I've just given up reporting it now. And I'd rather play the Rivet timetable. Because the rail tour's empty. Not the Rivet timetable. I'd rather play the Skyhook timetable. You had a twat in a BMW on his phone nearly take you off the road on the M4 a while back. A few miles later, I overtook him. He was smashed up on the embankment, still on his phone. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Oh, what are you doing? Shut the doors. We had one guy that beeped at my brother, although the guy who was driving the car was in the wrong, and he was beeping at my brother. You know, my brother just like pulled over, slammed his brakes on. This driver pulled up beside him, in front of him, and he just comes out with his little baseball bat. And he comes up to my brother and he goes, "What the fucking hell do you think you're doing? You nearly killed me." And my brother like took one look at him and he said, "Hold on, mate." He goes, "You joined the motorway right in front of me." He said, "Yeah, but you're supposed to slow down." He said, No. You merge in turn." He said, "You don't just pull out in front of something 15 foot away." He said, "If I'd hit you," he said, "it'd have been your fault." He said, "It's on dash cam." He said, "I've got it all on dash cam." And he said, "I will be sending it to the police." And he goes, "Thanks, I've now got your registration plate as well." Do the Class 40 tour. Do the Flying Scotsman tour. No passengers on them. Trust me, I've reported them. I know they're there. I don't need to show anyone them. You just need to go and view them yourself. Do the Class 40 tours. Do the Flying Scotsman tours. There's no passengers on them. The 40 tour is still broken because when you go on one certain section of the thingy, you're going full flat. You get notification you got a green signal, and you come around the corner, it's a red signal, and you can't stop. But it's a green signal. Well, yeah, the rail tours. The scenarios are quite unrealistic as well. You don't ever go round. A driver never ever goes round emptying bins on the station. Funny enough, the trailer on the lorry was advertising about joining Cult Culina as well. Oh. Brand exposure in the worst way possible, yes. You honestly don't care about rail tours. Well, that's why you haven't seen them then, I'm sorry, but, you know, you don't... I'm not being stupid, but you don't need to tell me to show you, because you haven't seen them, but you don't do the rail tours, because that's where some of the bugs are anyway. So, yeah. You had the full Samsung Autonomous system in your truck, cameras, sensors, the lot, and your driver score hovers between 97 and 99%. Awesome. Ooh, fellow underground driver, give him a toot toot. Even now, sometimes when we go off for our railway dogcast, then we're visiting places and that, some of the driving standards you see is just, oh my god. But yeah, it's a reason to crap on a route. Is it a reason to crap on a route? Well, if Rivet do not update it, fix the bugs, then yes, it is. The timetable's not very busy anyway. In real life, I don't think it is. But if they purposely do not go around fixing bugs, which have all been, they're there, you show them, you've seen them. Yeah, it is to trash a route. I don't like the route. It put it this way, it didn't start off very well. The timetable was crap, full stop. The scenery is, let's just say, I think in my stream that I did turn around and said, when I first played it, I wouldn't buy this if I wasn't an ambassador. Well, let me just put into this. You had one driver for Culina, or not for Culina, but it was a third party that delivers stuff for us. Okay. He was suspected of drink driving because he's not from us. We can't breathalyse him, and we had to get the police in. Yeah, that's fair enough. That's what I do every time. It's like the last few days where I used to work. There was some guy. I was going home early, and some guy from our place, I caught him coming out the pub at 3:30 in the afternoon. I said, "What do you think you're doing?" And he goes, "I'm on my tea break." I said, "Where have you been, or where you come from?" He said, "I've just been to the pub for a couple of pints." I went, No, you can't do that." I said, you just... I said, have you signed out? And he goes, "No." I said, "So if there's a fire, people are going to be going in there looking for you. And you're over here having 2 swift pints, what you're not allowed to be drinking during the day, during your job." I said, "No, you can't do that." So he just turns around, tells me to go fuck off. And basically I literally phoned the other supervisor there, who was she was working on till about 6 as well, because she had to shut up because there's only us two, the supervisors, there that day, and I had to go early because of my mum. And I told her about it. He turned around and said to me, he told me to fuck off because basically he could do what he wants as his tea break. I was just like, no, that's not good, that's not right. And yeah, so basically I phoned her. She told me she can't really do anything. I said, "You're a supervisor." She goes, "Best you phone Ian," who was the the warehouse manager, director, logistics director in charge. So I had to phone him, explain to him. He was pretty ill with the flu. And yeah, he came in, basically, he basically fired him on the spot. You're not allowed, it's against company policy that he was drinking not on company premises, but he was going off company premises to drink. And then after we found out all what's been going on, it all clicked into place that he'd been drinking as well during the day on the job. He'd been having these big massive thingies of coffee, but he'd been having alcohol in them. And we would always, they used to drive these things called a bendy truck, which it's not like a forklift. Basically what happens is the front of the forks and the front wheels pivot, so you can actually go down a VNA, a very narrow aisle, and pivot the truck, lift the forks up, drive in, lift the pallet up, pull it out of the racking to a safe distance, and then bring the pallet down. He always, unbelievable. In the afternoon, it's always in the afternoon, he was moving stuff about, bringing down pallets. He'd always be knocking stuff off the pallets. These pallets are up, massive height. No one else was allowed down the road, but he'd always be knocking boxes of books off the pallets because his judgment was impaired. And it kind of stuck with me, because then it was a, oh my God, it was him moment, that there was a lot of damage done to the door, that the goods in door that goes up and down, and basically someone had put a pallet through the doors because they didn't they didn't stop in time, and the pallet went into the doors and crumpled all the the stuff. And I went down there one day to obviously to find out what had happened. And he goes, no. He goes, it wasn't me. He goes, it's one of these young lads. It's one of those. They swore blind that they were not on the truck, because they turned around and said, I know they're cocky youngsters and all that sort of thing. They always say, oh yeah, I'll be able to drive that sort of thing, blah 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 blah. And this guy, he swore blind it wasn't him. It was one of the ones on the truck. He was in the toilet or something like that at the time, which I didn't notice. But the guy said they're on their tea break. And we don't have cameras down there. And it was the look on his face when he was talking to me saying, oh no, it's one of these young fuckers sort of thing. He had that look, though he's lying through his teeth. And you could tell by his eyes that he was lying, but I couldn't prove it. So, unfortunately for the boys, we turned around and said to them, you're not allowed on the trucks anymore. I said, that's just come from my boss. They swore blind that it wasn't them. I said, totally fair enough, mate. You're saying it wasn't you. I said, I can't prove it. I said, I've got his word. He's swearing blind it wasn't him. I said, so what do I do? Oh, hello. I said, he's telling me it was you, one of you two. I said, you two aren't saying it's you. You two is saying it's not you. I said, someone somewhere is lying. I can't prove it. I said, so my boss has told me you can't go on the truck. And it all fitted into place that it was this guy who was drinking because he'd done it. He was all the damage done to the trucks, to the racking, to the doors, thousands of pounds worth of damage over 3-4 months was done by him because he was on the drink. He was drunk. What, you know? And someone turned around and said to me the next day, I should not have said anything because he got sacked. He won't be able to get his redundancy payment. I said, well, I said, so even though if I knew that he'd been drinking, he was over the limit, and he's not allowed. I said he's not allowed out anyway because he didn't sign out, all that sort of thing. I turned around and said to him, I'm a supervisor. I said, me knowing that, and if he's to come back and have an accident and kill someone, and I knowingly knew that he went out having a couple of pints, I said, that's my job done. That's me out of a job. I said, for what? Because I didn't say anything. I said, no. I said, he was drinking. He admitted to me, I said, you could smell it on his breath, that he had 2 quick pints. I said, when you have 2 quick pints of beer in a 15-minute, it would have been a 15-minute tea break. We knew he would take you longer, because it was 3:45 when I'd actually passed him. And he due back to work at 3:45. He was still outside the premises. And I turned around and said to the guy in the tea room Monday on the next morning, I said, no. I said, it's company policy, you're not allowed to drink in work time. He's driving a forklift. I said, imagine if he had been driving a forklift. I said, all the damage, he ran and hit you with a forklift. I said, he's responsible. Now imagine, I said, he'd done that, and me knowing full well that he'd been out drinking. And I said, I didn't say anything to the boss, yet I let him come back and he was driving a forklift. I said, that's my job done, because I know it. I knowingly let him drive on the forklift, even though I knew that he'd said that he'd had 2 pints. So that puts him over the limit, especially if you drink them down quick. Yeah, that was a harsh lesson learned. Because, there's a few people in there saying, no, I wouldn't have said nothing. But then I had to explain it, the health and safety side of it. And honestly, I've seen the bloke a couple of times before, after, when I got in the year after that, we all finished work there. And once he had a right go at me about it, and I just turned around and said, I didn't tell you to drink. I didn't tell you to go over to the pub and have those two pints in work hours, put you over the limit. I said you could smell the alcohol on you. I said I didn't tell you that you could drink during the day sneakily and then go round hitting stuff and blame it on other people, knowing full well that it was you. And I actually, just before I left, I did apologise to the 2 kids that I told them they couldn't. I was told that they couldn't drive. I said, I'm sorry, but I didn't believe you. But we know who it was. You know who it was. Boom. I said, I'm personally apologising for that. Good afternoon there, Bradley. How's you? There's only one correct answer, and that's Southeastern Highspeed. Yes. Midland Mainline next. So, yeah, it's, as I said, because it's a learning experience, because you're not only thinking about them, yourself, but it's health and safety. You've got to think about all the other people as well that it can affect. Not only just in the company premises itself, but around, because he would have gone out loading pallets on the lorry as well. So, you know what I mean? It's all that stuff that you have to take into account. And, yeah, it's a lot of responsibility. We are going to do a HST service. Ooh, please don't tempt me. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're going to do that one. In a Western. Right, I'm just going to have a P&B. I'll be back. Ow. I thought I'd turn that off. There's one of the other guys there turned around and he said to me, he said, do you realise what you've done? And I said, what's that? And he said, you cost the man his job. You cost him his redundancy. I went, oh. I said, and that's all you're worried about, the fact that I've cost the man his job. He goes, yeah. He said, because he was out of work. I said, yeah. I said, he was drinking on work time. He hadn't signed out. I said, now imagine that he comes in on the forklift under the influence of alcohol. I said, so that already is a sackable incident, a sackable offence. And I said, he gets on the truck. Whoops, that's got to come off. I said, and then he then traps someone between a wall and the forklift truck. And I said, now I knew that. I knew that he'd been drinking and I hadn't said anything. And I said, if it comes out that I knew that, I said, I'll be up as being sacked as well. I said, it's my responsibility. Well, he goes, oh, I didn't know he'd been drinking. I went, well, there you go. I said, get your story first, get your facts right before you start coming to see me about it. And he goes, oh, no, then he would have had to go on. I was like, well, yeah. But at the end of the day, if you decide to drink when you're working, that's entirely up to you. But if it's in your company policy that you're not allowed to do that, then again, it's up to you, and God help you if you're not if you're not if you're not caught. Who are we? Western Warrior. We're going to give it a good old jizz on the old accelerator. I mean, if your company policies say, yeah, you can have alcohol, blah blah blah, it's up, it's entirely up to you what you do. But if it says in your company policy you're not allowed to drink in company hours, then if you're in charge of machinery, then yeah. Can't do anything at the moment. Got a red light. Got green now. Orange. No, I think you're telling me to shut up. My lords. Oh, look at these TEA tank reskins. That's a freaking long train. Hold on a second. "24 wagons, 2,790.7 ton. No wonder she's struggling a bit. She's going to be a bitch to stop. You do realise that. Orgasmic noise up there with a Ferrari flat 12 and a 62 Fender Stratocaster through an Hauptstrecke amp. Okay. Oh, hello. Didn't hear the AWS go off. I got hung up. No. Oh. Now, in theory, you'd be here running from now. Not really watched the any new F1 cars. Don't like the flappy front end, from what I have seen. I need to get footage, see proper footage of the things. 50% EVs on wheels. Bring back the Howling V12. Oh god, yeah. Duracell batteries, that's all they are. V12s, V8s, don't mind either, to be honest. Good thing is I have I think literally every season from about 1998 I think it is on DVD, so I can still hear some of them. You'll see what they're like when we see them in action in the Bahrain test. Yeah, it's just over a month now to Australia. Euston Yard. So these intermodal wagons are to represent the wagons that they have. Oh, hello, Dovetail. Oh, the zone. Wonder who put that there. Yeah, they're to represent the point carrying wagons that are usually there. Is that my one? No, that's the other one. That's the official one. Oh, she's down on what? No. Although she's on two engines, hence the blue and the red, the engine number 2 decided to drop. Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. I mean, I'll only be watching it on highlights because I don't have Sky TV. Can't afford it. Oh, is this station? We'll pop over on the station. Look. Go on, just down there, LD. Oh, we could do with the 56s in here as well in this game. Monaco. Yeah. Oh, it's a gear change. Oh, okay. One 158. Three-speed void hydraulic changes up to approximately 30 and 60. Ah, right, okay. Cool. I could drive the Western everywhere. Please go green. Yeah. Is that a red? It is a red. This is going to be a very interesting run because if this crashes, I won't be coming back. Cheers, Lee. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. Thank you. Hold on, I know you so love this, but I'm just gonna... Why wasn't it not letting me do that? No, it's the focal point.
Mind the gap.
Drop the field of view. As long as we got that train in. Oh, that looks awesome. It will probably change to green once you've gone past. Oh, this is someone on WhatsApp for me. Yeah, 2 seconds. I just got to keep an eye on WhatsApp over the next. Oh, yeah, I'll do that later. We shall take a screenshot. Oh no, 2 seconds. Bring the exposure down a bit. Saturation 63. That's better. Brightness down a bit. Snap away. Say cheese. Awesome. That's the sort of thing that I love, is you know the loco is working hard because you're only going 14 miles an hour and you're in notch 10. I love that. Even in real life when you see it. I think it should change when we get to the go via, which is over there. I know it says 30 miles an hour, but the thing is you can't do 30 miles an hour over there coming up to a red light. It's just stupid. There we go. They're lovely locos. Stupid thing is, we've got a 10-mile-an-hour limit. That's not good. Thing is, I'm just a firm believer that we always need new wagons in this game. New type UK wagons. I think the most cargo line patch should be P-way wagons or track renewal. Oh, definitely P-way wagons. Need the J&A wagons. But it seems as though they have an exclusive like stuff for VTG wagons, which is good. Oh, HST. I think this is Long Eaton. Yeah. If it's going to go tits up, it's about 6.6 miles to Derby that it will go. So the DSD does not work on the circle button on the PlayStation. I have to hit Q on the keyboard. So by the looks of it, this is the first time that I've driven Midland Mainline since I lost all my progress on the since I lost all my levels and progress and that. You're soon to be ex-regional director, lives in Long Eaton. Obnoxious little git. Usually directors are obnoxious little gits because they think they're higher and better than everyone else. Just loading up TSW now. By the way, Carl, I will wish you a happy birthday for tomorrow because I'm not on a stream tomorrow, but hope you have a good one, sir. The other directors are okay. Yeah, there's always some in there that they just think they're above everyone else, and I'm just like, nah, you're the same as everyone, mate. You'll eat, sleep, shit, and die like everyone else. Just because you got a little bit of money with your directorship. Imagine how much more fun this run would be if some Western still had the engine cut out bug. Don't know what's going on there. It's quite funny, that, actually. No problems. So, I phoned up Pip today after phoning up yesterday, and they say you have to go through to the inquiry line because you've got an active case or claim or whatever it is they call it. So yeah, phoned up the inquiry place. Eventually got through after 30 minutes waiting on the phone. Easy to get it out. Yeah, that's a decent one. And they're redoing a form and sending it out to me. So my mate's going to help me fill it out. So yeah, they're firing all of them and making them reapply. 9 will succeed, 1 won't. Easy way to get him out. Yeah. 4.6 miles to Derby. Seems as though, touch wood, we have passed the point of no return. I had one of those, you must read a message in your journal sort of thing. You know, you must read a message. It's like, oh, fuck's sake, what are you doing now? Because usually, you know, it's just like basically it was just a piece of shit. It was just like, do you want to go into caring? No, I don't. You know, I cared for my mother for 17 years. Saw her die. Do you really think I want to go into caring? No. I didn't see her die, but I was there, I don't know, about 8 hours before she did die. So, yeah. Just as bad, really, but there you go. Bit drafty. Now we've got some speed. It's funny how they think that because you cared for a family member that gives you the qualifications to do it as a job. Yeah, that's how they work. That is how they work. You know, admittedly, it was a bulk message, so everyone would have got it. But, you know, I've said to them, you know, that those sort of messages that come through are not good for me. And even though you know, the last time, I think when I did have one of these commitment sort of interviews, they go through a list of jobs and what you want to do, what you won't do. She's saying about caring. I said, I'm not interested in caring. Every time I said, because it says I cared for my mum, people think that I'm going to go into caring. I said the stuff I saw, I said no son should see. I said, what makes you think I want to go into caring? I said, I don't. But it's just like every time, they just don't listen. There's nothing on their system that says, you know, not interested in 12-hour shifts, anything. They don't do anything like that. And it's every time. You just have to repeat yourself every single time. And this is why I just really hate dealing with UC. Because they just do not basically get it. Well, I know we're only doing 45 miles an hour, but we're 1.8 miles away from Derby. So we've got to try and stop. Don't forget, we've got nearly 2,800 tonnes on the hook. We are going up a slight gradient. Oh, I'm getting cramp in my leg as well. It's not good. Take brakes off. You can see the similarities, apart from the big box that's not here, between a Class 59 and the 52. Next up will be Birmingham to Crewe, and we are going to drive an 805. Yay! I can't. Oh shit. I can't stop it. Well, that stopped me pretty quick. It would not allow me to cancel it. That's annoying. I kind of think that's a pretty bit unrealistic. This he stops me on a dime. Good evening, Railwayman. How are you? Once the stream. Notch 8, she starts moving. Even the cows and sheep are going, my lord, to the fields. Sleep. Been up since 4. Take care. No, you have a good one, mate. Take it easy. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. I'll probably end up having a bit of a late night tonight as well. I'm on season 4 of Star Wars Rebels, so want to try and get onto the last disc later on tonight. Got about 2 or 3 episodes to go. So don't forget, hit the vote, or to vote for the what route I'll be driving. We have Goblin Line 47%, London Underground at 7%, Isle of Wight 7%, 40% Southeastern Highspeed. It's going to be a close one. We've had 43 people voting. Come on, got to get some more votes. Andy, hi. Hello, nice. You're driving the Western. Really like the 52. Would be nice if they added the Class 42 as well. Oh, God, yeah. Oh, sugar. Definitely they need to. And a high mech. Oh, pair of 20s there, look. Hold on a minute. Hold on. What DRS 20's doing there? Oh, I have to speak to Adam about that. 31 on the test train. Oh, someone's Discord. Oh, hello. Large logo 47. Intercity 47 as well. 47 point. Nice. HT power cars. 37. Yeah, it's interesting. Completely forgot to do the message on Discord. Got 2 films planned to watch tonight: Jurassic World, Rebirth, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Is that Rebirth the latest one? There's another 37 over there. What round are we on? Is this the 3rd route? Yeah. We're going to be doing West Coast Mainline, Birmingham Crewe in the 805. Then we're going to be doing Great Western Express. Midland Mainline. HST. Just approaching Derby. That definitely raised my carbon footprint by a few kilotons. I'm happy with stopping there. Ooh, look at that. 4,325 and a gold. That's cool. Actually, I want to see that go off. Oh, I've got to come out first. Excuse me. You bought, yeah, I kind of had it on day -3 or 4. About a week ago today, actually, I had it. Does it tell you what time it's due out? There it is. No, it doesn't. That's a bit of a shame. Oh, there she goes. Oh, give it some. What do you think of the 805? I just love the sound of the wagons as well. It's beautiful. You painted it in the vintage first Great Western green and gold. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. I gotta say I do quite like the 805. I do not like the West Coast Mainline South timetable. Not very chappy about it. No passengers at Euston. No passengers getting on or off the train. Although there's no passengers on the train at all. On the Euston Milton Keynes. Although in the latter stages of the live stream on Tuesday, there were the odd passengers sat on there, but most of the other times they're running, no passengers getting on or off. Probably because I'm driving. Yeah, it seems to be HST somewhere. Oh yeah, so there is. It has been well received. There are the normal people that just moan at anything because they got to pay for it. To be honest, and yeah, it's the best thing that's come out of that pack is the 805. Seems to have been generally well received. You're not buying yet, as you're not sure about the timetable. Yeah, I'm just not happy about the Euston Milton Keynes one. It's just something about it, and there's also only 10 freight services, which is absolute bollocks. And also the fact that I explained earlier about the AI services, the Willesden to wherever they are going services. Why don't they just have them coming in from a portal instead of just being there from midnight till 13:14 and 10:38 respectively? You know, between 10 and 13 hours they're just sat there. And like, if you're there early in the morning doing services, they're there and they're putting on the system. So, you know, that's what I'm not happy. I said all about this as well to the passengers, to Dovetail. Alex is absolutely brilliant. He said they've got details of it. They're passing it on to the relevant people. Hopefully something will come up about it. Because I also said about the J&A wagons in the route, in the yard opposite Willesden, cut them down a bit. Just because the problem was with the 805 on Euston Birmingham route on a no, not Euston Birmingham, Euston Milton Keynes route, I was getting I was getting blurry textures. I've never had blurry textures on that Euston route with all the other stuff. So why I get it on there with the 805 and that timetable, I don't know. It just does. I think the area around between Wembley and Willesden just needs a bit of optimization with some removal of certain, just gets rid of some of the stuff it doesn't need. Right, so we are going to be doing the 805 in this timetable. Right, the other thing that I would like to say is that I did kick off a bit. We're doing a modern timetable about the lack of freight services. Now, you can't blame me for this. If you scroll down to the freight services, total services completed 0 out of 9. It just says 9 freight services. You click on it, you go to cargo line aggregates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? That's cargo line aggregates. Cargo line petroleum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Go to cargo line East Coast Mainline Peterborough Doncaster. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Go to Edinburgh DRS. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So as well as having the 9, you've got another 8. So that's what? My maths is shit. 18, 16, 17. 17 services. So there's 17. These are all DRS ones as well. But then that's the same with that one as well. Same with that one. Cargo line intermodal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You've got another 16 services. So that takes you to, what you said, 8, 17. So 16, that's 33. Cargo line military. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So they're the same as the last one, 16. East Coast Way, I think there'd be 9. But they're all the same as the other 9 services. So in total, I think there's about 33 freight services. So yeah. So that's pretty cool. There is a fair amount of freight on there. It's not the same with the Euston Milton Keynes timetable. It's different. So, yeah. You've also got the LMS Jubilee. You got a tour there. Kidderminster to Carnforth. You've got the Flying Scotsman tour. I don't know where's all this. I keep getting notices. I'll have to look at that at some point. So yeah, Manchester Victoria to Bristol Temple Meads. That's an hour and 22 minutes. So I think that's rail tour from Crewe to Birmingham. So we could really do that actually. Nah, we're all right. But we're going to do an 805 today. If I can find it. There she is. So, yeah. I just want to drink water actually. Let me start. Can we do any more Crewe to Birmingham? I think there won't be any more until 21:55. Okay, so there's a few early in the morning then. Right. Okay, that's fine. We'll do. 5 Oscar 2O. Part 1. 5 Oscar 2O, Part 2. Should we do that? Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll do 5 Oscar 2O, Part 5 Oscar 2O, 746 Oxy CMD to Chester. So I've not driven out of there yet. And then we'll do 746 Oxy CMD to Chester Part 2. So it's about a 44 minute run, something like that. 42 minute run. We'll do that one. I'm not putting dynamic weather on. Just have nice cloudy sky. So overall, I like the 805. I also like this timetable, the Euston Milton Keynes timetable. I'm just really disappointed with it. There's just something about it that is just not right, as well as the lack of freight. So, to be honest, I probably will not use that timetable, and we'll probably end up using the 805 on Euston Milton Keynes unless that timetable gets sorted, because it's just crap. Right, Wolverhampton, 7:55. Right, let's just check to see that we have got our pants up, which we do. That's pretty cool. Right, so put the safeties on. Everything's on. We need that on. There we go. Put the headlights on, which will do night still. Oh no, it's just basically just one lot, isn't it? So put the key in. No, it should be TPWS AWS operational. It shouldn't just be AWS. That's wrong. Right. Not in service is fine. Can we do F7, F8? No. Boring. Okay, so have we got a red light? We have a red light. We can't do anything. That's why we have a red light. Chuck the old doobie what's it on. I've not done an ECS out of here before. Yeah, so personally I do like this. And the 805 is a very lovely thingy. And people, I don't know if people have noticed, but the 807, when it is released, will layer in on that Euston thingy timetable. DRA, turn that off. It's in the layers. The weird thing is, I had the DRA on and I was rolling back. Shouldn't do that. So we've got a 5 mile an hour limit. So if you're wondering where Oxley is there. We go to there, which is Wolverhampton, and then we run Wolverhampton to Crewe, I believe. It's a nice steep climb out of here. Your fog machine has just been turned on. Oh, it was Carl messing about with the fog machine again. Despite everything that I just said about liking this timetable, you will get blurry textures on it. And I've explained before why there is. It's not because of the actual unit itself. The unit is well detailed. Most of the units are well detailed. That's the reason why we're getting blurry textures, because people want detail. And there's not enough memory to go round. That's the problem. PC, it's fine. Consoles, it's not. And people turn around and say delete stuff off your hard drive so that you got more available space on your hard drive on the console. Doesn't do anything. And you tell people this, you always got that one person that'll argue the shit with you about it. Consoles do not use VRAM, virtual RAM. Like, they do not use hard drive space remaining as extra virtual RAM. It doesn't do that. PC, you can. It does it automatically. Windows manages it. Doesn't do it on console. Yet people still think it does. No, it doesn't. Sony and Xbox do not allow it. It'd be great if they did. Oh dear, I was awake at 7:30 this morning, which I didn't really need to be awake at 7:30. Hence why I'm going to have a bit of a late night tonight. If I don't get round to doing Bremen Oldenburg, which I probably won't be, then that's fine. I'm happy with that. See if we can do Great Western Express, though. Hitting the wrong key. Oh, we've got a big one. Funny enough, I was awake at 7:30 too. Yeah, I think you just finished work. It does, yes, I noticed that. But I've not streamed Frankenbarn since it's been released. I've not even done a preview stream on the PlayStation. Done a preview stream on the PC, but I've not done a preview stream on the PlayStation, and I won't until the missing services appear on the PlayStation. There's a red light around here somewhere. I've not even played it off stream, to be honest. Well, no, tell a lie, I have. And I spat in on the scenario and I wasn't very happy, so I just went, nope, that's it, done. I threw my toys out my pram. Threw the trains out the depot. At 7:30 this morning, you was about to go on to Toby's for a pub. Oh, for a pub crawl, I thought it was, for a breakfast. Nice. Yeah. Oh dear. I've basically I was kind of thinking that I had to get up early. I had to go to the doctors yesterday about my arthritis and everything, which is good. We got some stuff sorted, which is pretty cool. But that's why I got up early yesterday. But yeah, because I'm still getting used to not having to be up at 7 o'clock, obviously for work, which is a bit of a shame, but yeah. But sometimes your body clock doesn't adjust as quickly as it should do, and I was awake still at back just after 7. Not very happy chappy. So I am tired. So that's why, most of the time I now have Friday where I don't stream, because I just need a break from it. But I could be streaming a bit over the next few weeks. So there could be some really weird stuff that's going on. So I could be streaming at certain times. There could be more than the streams and everything. There's DBBR628 in Quebec, Canada. Really? Is there? Nice. Ow. So we're doing an ECS to Crewe. Why didn't we just come out? That's Oxley. Why didn't we come out round there and go up round that way? You still get to Crewe that way. I don't understand. Object complete. So what we shall do is do continue. Return to free roam. Wait, service is scheduled for 8:03. Right, so Crewe. So we've got to change ends. So basically we'll just shut everything down. Put it on emergency. Or is it just no, it's off, isn't it? Max break. Biff bath. I think that's done. Switch that off. And yes, just switched everything off. Put the headlights, tail lights on. Yeah, I'm miraculously still in. Walk up the other end. Set the train up. We'll then go and have a P&B. And we'll come back and drive it up to Crewe.
The next train to arrive at platform 3 will be the 0802 West Midlands Railway service to Birmingham New Street, calling at Wolverhampton and Birmingham New Street, platform 3 for the 08.
Let's get myself a coffee, put it in the microwave. Beep, 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 beep. Need a P&B. We've got our coffee, don't worry about that. Shut the doors. Oh dear, shut the door. Sit in there. DRA, stick that on. Bivia, we'll have to do that again. Put everything in there. There we go. Put a key in. Headlamps. Right. Right, I just need a P&B. You ended up getting out of the map in Frankenbarn onto the tracks not present in the route map. Yeah, there's a lot of places you can do that. On a lot of the routes, though. Right, bear with me, I'll be back. P&B time. drunk on train. Just going to get a couple of custard creams. Oh, go easy there. If you hear me crunching, I do apologise. So we are running ECS from thingy. Oh, confirm you register. Nope, it's not gone in yet. Broken it now, haven't I? Oh God. Yep, broken it. Don't have time to mess about with it. That's not good. Oh well. Hold on, I can. Can I switch it off? No, it's broken. Oh dear. In theory, I should be canning the service. Right, that's it then. Crewe, platform 12. Let's crack on. It's a bit pointless. Means we're going to be dragging our arse behind this flipping oh, that's why. One 5 there we go. Take that off. I did take that off. Come on. Why is that not working? For the love of God. Oh, completely bollocks that up. What? Why? DRA reset. Right. DRA was on, was off. Now I can't get the brakes off. I know the brakes haven't released. DRA is off. Brake hold was on. Wow. That's a strange one. God, bloody hell, I need that coffee. I had the same issue on the power changeover training module. Yeah, I think that's been recognised. There is a bug on that, apparently. Which way are we going? Oh, yeah, you've got to go that way. This is going to be the last one tonight. I'm getting pretty tired. Besides, it's going to be about, what, half an hour? So, it's going to finish about 11:30. So, yeah. You always thought the trains from Midland Mainline look like trams or streetcars. Yeah, they do a bit. In a way, they do travel up part of the streets on some of the routes. Voyager. It's such a lovely unit. And people turn around, oh, it's just an Hitachi. It's the same as the 802, different. Miles an hour. So in theory, we won't really see much until we get, if there's any freight, till we get to Stafford, which we may see some at some point if we get to Stafford. See, look, oh look, 125. Oh, I do apologise. See, we can whack her up to 125. That'd be cool. Bit of a rocking and a spraying, rocking and a rolling going on here. I'm kind of hoping tomorrow afternoon, I think, that I can probably start cutting a little bit of timber up, what I've got for the battens, for the strengthening battens on the other bit of board that I have, that my other bit of the railway is going to go on. And then I've got to wait for when I've got some money to get the legs that I need. Burton Road, as it is, the depot plan that I want and everything is kind of on hold. Burton Road as a new addition is going to be the one that I'm going to be concentrating on. And I'm going to sort of try and explain that in a post over the next few weeks on Facebook. Basically, well, I can explain some of it now. Basically, what I want is a roundy type layout. Now, unfortunately, the only place where I can do that is in my bedroom. But obviously I need my bedroom for other things like sleeping and whatever else happens. So, but I just want a roundy bedroom, a roundy route. So the plan, yes, there's a plan apparently, is to have a roundy route, but it can be easily taken down. I have the timber to do it. So I have two end bits, which are going to be, the first bit is what I've got already erected now, which was going to be part one of the Burton Road. The second part is what I'm going to be starting to build up tomorrow, or the second end bit. But then when I've done that, I've got to get the timber for the legs. But the legs have to be foldable, which means I can put this up and store it. All it's going to be is just going to be track. There's got to be no scenery, no stations, no nothing. It's going to be track where I can just run stuff round, do a little bit of shunting, running round in a siding sort of thing with point work and everything. So that's the idea. The idea, he says. I've got two, I think they're about 2 metre lengths of planks. I did have 3, but I cut one up, that I use at the old house to as shelves to store my DVD collection, Blu-ray collection on. Now they are going to be used as the bits in between the two the lengths of wood in between the two end bits, what I've got. So in effect, it's going to be like a little mini square, kind of rectangle, sort of roundy sort of route. But I'm also going to have, it's going to be like a double track mainline sort of thing. And there's going to be like a siding on, or a passing loop on each length of plank of wood. Now the idea is that I don't know how it's going to work. Yeah, there's an idea there where peak. Don't have a peak. Good evening. Welcome to stream. Neo the what? The Thought Park fan. Oh, hello Neo. Spoke to you for a while. How you doing? Going a bit too fast, I believe. Oh, we are seriously needing to slow down. Good. Yeah, I'm not too bad. It's just the rest of them. Much has been going on, yes. Definitely. So we are approaching. So now the 805 dropping stuff. We're ECS to Crewe. But we're coming up against the yellow, which I think we're approaching Stafford, aren't we? Yeah, we are. What have we got coming into Stafford? Oh, we probably approaching control and everything. Approach control, yeah. Physics degree. Oh, well done. Congratulations. That means you can blow things up. Yay. And then explain why you did it or how you did it. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of work to do, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and it's a lot of design. But it's just basically the innovative idea is that I've got to have track there, and it's got to be connected. So I can't just keep putting little bits of track in. I can do, but it would be a pain in the butt just to connect it all up. So yeah, all the time. There we go. We've got green. I think we've got points. Yeah, we've got. Why are they? If I've got cross points, why have I not got? That should be telling me that I should be going across points. That's naughty. Oh, Voyager and Pendo. Yeah, it's Pendo. Yeah, so it depends on a lot of woodwork and a fair bit of money, but the only other thing to do is No, I don't know. Just there's another idea that I wanted, but I don't think that will be able to work. Now we're on the up fast. Crewe in 23 miles. I really have to try and start doing the tutorials as well for all these locos. So this is, yeah, knackered that. I broke that. That doesn't work. Japan has some Coploper lookalikes like the E351 series, for example. I kind of think that's the... Oh, I don't know. I don't know much about Japanese railways. Slow it down to 105. I think I will be glad when I actually get to bed tonight, but I'm not going to go for about another hour or two yet. Absolutely pouring down with rain. We had TSW levels of fog last night between London and Reading. Did you? Interesting. Weird thing is, so did I. And I was on Great Western Express on the PS5, P Super. No, on the PC. I was playing. Oh dear. 13 miles to Crewe on this ECS. What is the head code of this ECS? 5 Oscar 20. Oxley CMD to Chester Part 2. Oh, so this is going to Chester. You was driving and in places you couldn't see 20 yards ahead. Yeah, it's understandable. Yeah, I playing, I think it was, might have been Tuesday night actually, I think. I don't know. But yeah, I just had dynamic weather on. And on the PC, just to see what the affects the how it affected the frame rate on the PC. And I just, yeah, it just came up all foggy. And I was just like, you know what? Early morning, doing an early morning HSC run into Paddington, and it started off really clear, cloud, you know, sunny like this. The sun was arising, but by Slough, it was full on fog, and it cleared just after we got to just after we passed Southall. So yeah, it was quite good actually. It's very very scenic, as they say. Dizzy. I'm still not overly convinced with this timetable, but it's better than the Euston one. Ugh. Nothing to see there anyway. Well, I don't know. Could have been plenty to see. Can't see anything. Camera. .5 miles. Whack her up a bit. Yeah, so I was going to do Bremen, Oldenburg, and Great Western Express, but it's coming up to about 25 past 11, and I'm getting tired. So yeah, we're going to leave those for tonight. I'll probably do them first thing on Monday. Next Monday, the Monday afternoon, I think. I've got to double check, so I can't remember if I'm doing anything Monday. But I think if I'm not, I will be streaming, but it will be streaming on the PlayStation and not the PC. Because I did originally say we'll be streaming on the PC, but we won't be. It will be the PlayStation we're streaming on. Because I streamed on the PC last Monday. Oh dear. Oh, I think these may change to yellow and a red, green, yellow and a red, but we'll wait and see. Yeah, there we go. Take the brakes off. Don't think we have a lot down on the railway this week. I know at Hamworthy they're building a little compound on one of the where the old cafe used to be, on the level crossing next to on the old Hamworthy branch. There doesn't seem to be any planned freight traffic for the time being, but Network Rail are undertaking maintenance along the branch, and it's just basically keeping it up to scratch, so for when there is freight confirmed, the freight can literally start at the company's, the freight company's date, when they can, and where there's not too much work that needs doing. So yeah, but there's a little compound going in on one of the barriers, the level crossings, and someone I know turned around and said, "Oh no, they're putting barriers in." No, they're not. They wouldn't be putting barriers in on 66. Nice. Yeah, that's FCA wagons. They wouldn't be putting barriers in on a single line level crossing, which hardly sees any freight or traffic whatsoever. They're putting in a compound where the driver can sit in his car. Yeah, this ain't going to work well. He can sit in his car and wait. Oh, I think TPWS just activated. Did you hear that? Doink, doink. Because it knows I'm not going to stop. Please go green. That is going to bring me to a stop right in front of the red. How cool is that? That's the brakes collectively going, ah. That should reset. In theory, it's now showing me what you call it. You've got to wait for the brakes to reset. Yeah, she turned around and said that it's going to be a level crossing with the gates. No, they're not installing gates. There we go. So that's good to know that the old TPWS works. So yeah, all it is just they're putting in a compound where the guy can sit in his car when on the days the freight train's due in, and he can get out his car, stand in front of the train starts approaching. Basically, he'll get out, put the old red flag up, stop the traffic, and so the train go past. That's all it is. It's just because you can't where they used to park. They're parking on the curve on a road. So yeah, it's a bit dangerous. So yeah, the Network Rail are putting in a compound where the guy can just put his car in and that's it. But they want to keep the branch up, maintained for when freight does eventually start, which I suspect it will do. But there's none planned at the moment. So it's better to have it, the branch line being maintained, and that so when a company does want to start up running the freight, there's no delay in getting the freight trains, the trains, the services to start, because there's maintenance got to be done. So yeah, it's a good way how to do it. But people think because they see Network Rail down there, oh, freight's coming back. It's not coming back at the moment. I've seen the emails, we've asked the questions, and at the moment there is nothing coming back. There we go on that one. How much did we get? 4,497. And a little bit taken off for speeding. Right. Anyway, guys, that for tonight is going to be it. I will see you on Saturday for the... hold on. Before we go. End the poll. So it looks as though we have Goblin Line, which will be the first route that we start on Saturday. 52 votes. So, yeah. So viewers vote the route on Saturday. We will be starting with the Goblin Line. And then we'll be voting on a route every time doing like this. When I finish a route, basically we'll have a poll before I start the next route, basically what we're doing and what we're not doing, what we're driving and that. So yeah, but thank you all very much, guys. Really appreciated. Thanks for coming in, and don't forget, hit the like button, hit the sub button. Hopefully I will see you on Saturday. I'll be all on Discord tomorrow and Saturday anyway, so yeah, but thank you all very much, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers, guys. Bye bye.